Hey, what's up, guys? Finally getting around to doing my rod and reel arsenal video, so I'm just going to jump right into it. My first setup is a Daiwa Tatula. It's 610, medium heavy with a fast tip. Lure rating is 1/4 to 1 ounce. It's really an all-purpose setup. Right now I have it set up for jerk baits, but you can fish soft plastics, worms. If you have mono, you can fish top water, paddle tail swim baits. This is just a very versatile rod, you guys. I got it paired with a Daiwa Tatula, 7:3-to-1 gear ratio. And the line I have on it right now is Seagar Red Label Fluorocarbon in 12-pound test. This rod's very light, very well balanced, and very sensitive. It's just a really, really great setup, you guys. Next, I got another Daiwa Tatula. It's a 7-foot, 2-inch medium heavy with a regular taper, which also can mean a moderate taper, but this rod has more of a moderate fast taper, which I'll show you. Lure rating, same as the other one, 1/4 ounce to 1 ounce. And this is my chatterbait, swim jig, and spinnerbait rod. Now, I'm going to show you the tip and backbone ratio of this rod here real quick, but I went with this rod because I like that moderate. I like the moderate fast taper this rod has. I feel it gives the fish a chance to really eat that bait, and it doesn't pull the bait away from that fish, kind of like a fast taper would. I'm going to show you the tip to backbone ratio real quick, just to show you that it has enough backbone to still drive the big hooks like the chatterbaits have on them home. So if you guys can see, it's got plenty of backbone, you guys. But the reel I have this rod set up with is another Daiwa Tatula. This one's a 6:3-to-1 gear ratio. And the line I have on is Seagar Red Label Fluorocarbon in 15-pound test. Next I have one of the new Tatula fiberglass crankbait rods. It's a 7-foot, 2-inch, medium heavy with that regular taper. But I'm going to show you with this rod. This one has more of a moderate taper than the last rod. It's rated the same as the other two, 1/4 ounce to 1 ounce. And right now I have it set up for lipless crankbaits. But I'm also going to fish medium and deep diving crankbaits on this setup. I'm going to show you the tip to backbone ratio real quick, you guys. Compared to the other regular taper, this one has more of a moderate taper. See, it's got more of that. The tip's got more of that flex to it. The reel I have it paired with is another Daiwa Tatula, 6:3-to-1 gear ratio. And the line is Seagar Red Label Fluorocarbon 15-pound test. Now actually I had a chance to fish this rod last weekend, and I am sold. Yeah, it sold me on the fiberglass rod for sure. If you watch my last video, cold water bass fishing, I had a nice 3-pounder on in that video. Had one hook in him, and that fiberglass rod helped keep that fish pinned. So it made me a believer in fiberglass. It's the first fiberglass rod I've owned, and I really like it. It's a tad heavier than the graphite Tatulas, but it's not much heavier, you guys. It's still pretty light. Just a really nice, really great setup. Next I have a Daiwa Zillion rod. It's a 7-foot, medium heavy with a fast tip. It's the older version. It's not the new version, but the older version. And this is my soft plastics and jig rod, or my bottom contact setup. Lure ratings the same as the Tutulas, 1/4 ounce to 1 ounce. And a lot of people say this rod fishes more like a heavy, and I would agree with that. It does. But I think that's what makes this rod very versatile. I can fish the 1/4 ounce, like right now I have a rugby jig on. I can fish the 1/4 ounce rugby jig, tungsten weights, soft plastic, tungsten weights with the soft plastic, or like a 1/4 ounce jig, and it handles those light lures just fine. But if I wanted to go up to a 1 ounce jig, or like, you know, a heavier jig, I have 100% confidence that this rod can handle those heavy jigs also. But I have it paired with another Daiwa Tutula, 7 3-to-1 gear ratio, and the line I have on this setup is Seaguar Invisex fluorocarbon in 15-pound test. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I found this rod on Tackle Warehouse on clearance, so I was able to get a really good deal on this rod. And with my bottom contact setup, I want to get the most sensitive setup that I can possibly afford within my budget. And thankfully, I found this rod on clearance. But it's super light, super sensitive, and it's very well balanced. I've had a lot of fun fishing with this setup, you guys. One of my favorites that I own. Next, I got the beef stick, the Froggin setup. It's a Dobbin Savvy 735C. It's 7 foot 3 inch mag heavy with an extra fast tip. Lure rating is 1/4 ounce to 1.5 ounce. And this rod has been a really great frog rod, you guys. It's got a great tip. I can cast these frogs a mile, and it can easily walk a frog if you want it to. It's just and it's got a ton of backbone. It's got plenty of backbone to set those double hooks home and to pull those fish out of that heavy cover. The reel I have it paired up with is a Daiwa Tutula, 7 3-to-1 gear ratio, and the line is Sunline FX2 60-pound braid. And that is my Froggin setup, you guys. Next, I have a Daiwa, not a Daiwa, sorry guys, a Denali Covert. It's a 6'10", 6 foot 10 inch medium and a moderate taper. Lure rating is 1/4 to 5/8 ounce. And this is I primarily fish square bill crankbaits with this rod. But this year I'm going to try throwing some top water, like some poppers and stuff like that with it. The reel I have it paired with is a loose speed spool, 7 1-to-1 gear ratio. And the line is Suffolk Siege 14-pound monofilament. And I think it's got a moderate taper, if I forgot to mention that. And last but not least, I got my spinning setup. It's one of the new Abu Garcia Ike series rods. It's 7 foot medium with a fast tip. Lure rating is 1/16 to 1/2 ounce. And the way Ike and Ellie described this rod is as an all-purpose spinning rod, which is exactly what I was looking for in my spinning setup. Because when I fish, I'm usually fishing from the bank or in a smaller boat. I have a 17-foot aluminum boat, and I also fish out of a tiny little John boat sometimes on like the smaller lakes that I fish. So I only like to carry one spinning setup with me because I don't use spinning rods a whole lot. And just the way Ike and Ellie described this rod, I wanted to give it a try because that's what I was looking for, just a all-purpose spinning setup. The reel I have it paired with is a Daiwa Procyon. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but I think it's a Daiwa Procyon, 6:0:1 gear ratio, I believe. And the line I have on it is a 20-pound Power Pro braid. But if I want to use it for drop shotting, I'll just tie on a 6 to 8 pound fluorocarbon leader on it. Right now I have it set up for shaky heads because that's what I fish the most on my spinning setup is shaky heads. I haven't been able to catch a fish on this setup yet this year, but from fishing it, it's super light. It's very well balanced, you guys. And from what I can tell, just fishing shaky heads, it's pretty sensitive. I'm really impressed with this rod, you guys, and I can't wait to catch some fish on it. But that is my spinning setup, you guys. And that actually concludes my rod and reel arsenal for this year, you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, just message me or in the comments section. Like my video, share it if you want. And I appreciate you guys watching, you guys. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.